Hang on, we got some
Oh,
rain dropping down.
wow. Okay. Well, here we go. It's a little bit of a spanner thrown into the works. Let's have a look and see whether this rain is going to continue throughout the session, whether it's going to get worse or whether it's going to improve, because it might be a rush out of the pit lane, or it may be kind of people waiting
Yeah,
for the best conditions at the end. But I think
it
after
doesn't
looking
look
at
like it
this,
does it?
got a
I'm
Red
on
Bull
board
coming up
with
to
him.
the
I'm
line.
not seeing any spray coming off those tyres.
No,
And
McCrew's
McCrue's
actually
retired.
McCrew's retired from the session. He just crossed the line and did a 42.5. Did he spin across the start-finish line? I think he may have spun across the start-finish line and possibly hit one of the walls by the looks of things.
Yeah, it looks like it. I was just on board with his teammate then, as
Wow.
he is stationary on the pitch straight.
Oh, that is
Toxic
Patrick
has
right
gone
in
purple in sector 1 and 2, so this could be...
provisional pole. Nice and neat. Keeps it a nice and wide line into the last corner. Here he comes out the last corner. What's the lap time? It's a 31.1. He goes 7/10 of a second clear at the front of the field. Brilliant time from Toxic. Can anyone get close to that? On board with Callum, by the looks of things, Dylan's made a mistake on his lap, so he's not improving. So that's another person who hasn't set a lap time in this session. Yeah, he's backed off completely. On board with Callum now, and he's set a purple middle sector. He's a second up on his time. So at the moment, this will put him in a net P2.
To be honest, I think Callum will take a net P2 at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. With McCrew at the moment looking like he's on for a P17 by the looks of things.
Nowhere with a 31.5.
Ghost into second position. Brilliant lap from Ghosts. And we've got Sashiani's into P5. Daniel goes P4 on a 32.1. Here comes Callum up to the line. And he goes P3 on a 31.6, which is still a good position for Callum. P3 at the front of the grid. We've got MK into 7th.
He ran as well, and he got to improve on his Indev's run. Wet.
Sparholt across the line.
Wet track challenge.
Yeah, Sparholt only P5 in the end, so he can't beat his pole time. He can't match a pole position from last time out. Here comes his teammate. He looks like he's going to be the last person to set a lap time. And Patrick, I believe, ends that session in P11. He does, yeah. And that's the end of qualifying then. So it's Toxic on pole by about 0.4 of a second clear of Ghosts, and then Callum in P3, just a tenth further back from that. Brilliant. Then here we are.
A very tight grid from P2 all the way down to P10. Actually, you know, just over a second separating them.
I've got a lovely view up the hill into turn 1. Here we go then. Here come the lights ahead of the drivers. Here come the 5 lights. How quickly did they go out? Bit of a long hold and away we go. Looks like a relatively even start. One of the Alfa Romeos in the background got an incredible start by the looks of things. That was Fergal with a brilliant start.
Around the outside of
Super Gamer caught on the inside of the apex at turn 1. He's lost a number of positions, but Toxic out front. He's gone. Callum up to second position off the line. Sparholt up to third from 5th on the grid. He's side by side with Ghosts. Ghost takes back that P3 position. Brilliant stuff from Ghost to hold on to P3 there. We've got a spinner in the background. I think that was Dylan. He'd had a relatively good start and he's actually spun through the S section. I don't know if there was contact in that, but that's a shame for him. Super Gamer's dropped to 6th. Oh, is there another yellow flag?
We have an issue with Super Gamer and MK. I don't think they can see each other.
Yeah, they are desynced by the looks of things. That's a shame. But yeah, Super Gamer had a bit of a poor start. He's dropped down to 6th at this point. But other than that, Toxic out front already by a second. He's gone. Ghost is on the back of Callum. He's going for the inside move down into the end of the second sector. Relatively evenly matched and in straight line speed. Ghost goes for the inside, brakes late. Callum's going to try and go for the switch back, but he doesn't have the traction to do it. So Ghost back up into P2 after a bit of a sluggish start. He's made his way back up into P2. So good stuff from Ghost. He looks like he's going to try and catch back up to Toxic as Callum goes back down the inside. There's a little bit of contact. So Ghost holds onto the position there and Callum stays in P3. So
Hypes it around. Hypes and Toofy Daddy making a bit of contact. Hypes with front wing damage, no?
Oh, that is such a shame for Hypes. He was the lead person on the alternate strategy, but looking through the rest of the field, Matty has made an incredible start. He's 11th already. What a start for Matty. As Toxic across the line is 1.5 seconds clear already. He's way out in front. Oh, a bit of contact.
J-Luke and Patrick.
Yeah, J-Luke, I think got caught on the exit curb and he just slid into the side of Patrick, and that's going to let Matty through as well. Matty is going to go for the double move. He looks for Patrick, but Patrick's going to get the better one on the exit of the corner. And be right on
really pressuring Callum, and he's gone for the move.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Into the airpin. Just before the main straight.
Yeah, Callum looks to be struggling actually. After Ghost passed him, Ghost is already 1.8 seconds up the road, so Callum's really struggling at this point. I don't know whether he's gone for more of a wet setup to maybe help him in qualifying, or whether this just isn't the track that suits him, but he's kind of been overtaken left, right and centre at this point. Super Gamer and Daniel as well, side by side. Super Gamer, so, oh, Callum a little bit sideways. Yeah, oh, Super Gamer's going to go right around the outside of him. And Super Gamer makes it through, so Callum's now down to P5.
I thought with 10 different ways to pronounce it, but...
Oh, down the inside. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, is he going to hold it? Well held. Really well held from Sashayan, but he's dropped down to P11 with that. Got McCrew on the back of his teammate. It's not able to stick close, but oh, Sashayan has a massive moment. Oh, and he's into the wall. Sashayan's out of the race. Had a massive moment in the S's, just took way too much speed, started sliding and overcorrected and spun into the wall. That's such a shame. And we've got a full safety car. Toxic, I think Fake's trying to stay out, but he's come in. I don't think that fooled Ghosts. Sparholt's also in. I think pretty much everyone is into the pit lane behind them. Toxic keeping it very slow.
Rush right now.
Yeah, keeping it very slow, waiting for the safety car to come in. I think he wants a big jump on the rest of the field before the start line. He doesn't want to go as late as possible and give people the opportunity down into turn 1. So let's see what he can do. When's he going to go? And he's gone before the penultimate corner. Kind of caught Ghost napping a little bit then, and Toxic is gone already. He's already 0.6 of a second clear, so Toxic leads us away again for the restart of this US Grand Prix. Comes up into pit straight. Ghost a little bit sideways on the exit of the last corner. And Toxic definitely safe from Ghost at this point, so good restart from Toxic ahead of his rival. Sparholt pulls P3 ahead of Dylan, and then Super Gamer in 5th.
Matty down the inside of...
Ooh!
And that was a good old dive bomb there from Matty.
And doing exactly what we said. He's using those mediums to effect as soon as possible. He's already passed one of the hard runners, and Daniel tried to go for a move on Super Gamer. Oh, Matty down the inside in the S section. Wow. He's going to go around the outside. He's not going to pull this one off, is he? Down the inside into the long right-hander. Daniel's still there.
Oh, Callum's here as well.
Oh, he pulls it off though. Matty's through. Brilliant. And Callum's going to try and nick a place off Daniel at the same time. Down into the hairpin.
Patrick as well.
Oh my word. A little bit of chaos here. Oh, a bit of contact between Daniel. Daniel slides and he kind of catches Patrick out. And here comes MK. Here comes the MK down the outside. He's going to take the pair of them. And Fergal's in this one as well. There's a little bit of chaos now. They're going 3 wide again into the hairpin. Daniel down the inside of MK. I think Daniel's going to get that one stopped. But yeah, Daniel dropped a lot of positions there. A little bit of an over... Ooh, is he going to go for the move? Is he going to pull it off? He's got the inside now for the double left-hander, and he makes his way through. So he's up to P9.
Oh, McCrew going for a bit of a switchback behind there. I just saw that on J-Loop.
It didn't quite work, and Max is through. Max on the mediums is through, so McCrew's actually starting to lose places at this point. He's starting to drop down the field. He's going to go around the outside. What an incredible... If he pulls this one off, that would be an incredible move. Oh, Max a little bit late on the brakes. Catches J-Luke unawares. And McCrew's going to try and go for the pair of them down into turn 1. There goes McCrew to the inside then. Is he going to pull it off? He's late on the brakes. He's got the inside line. He's going to make it stick. McCrew takes 2 places in one corner. He's actually going to... He's side by side with Patrick again. And Daniel holds on to P8. Patrick down the inside. He gets it stopped and he parks the bus and makes the move stick. Brilliant move from Patrick. He's up the inside of Daniel up to P8. Here's Super Gamer going to go for the move into turn 1. He's got good straight line speed in that Ferrari. Does he make a dive for it? He does. Dylan leaves in the space. Ooh, a little bit of a squeeze there from Super Gamer onto the curb, but fair racing. Dylan down the inside. They're not going to go side by side for the S's. Oh, there's contact. Super Gamer's round and into the wall.
Super Gamer's in the wall.
Oh, what a shame for Super Gamer on for a really good result. I think that was just... That's a shame, I think. And another safety car. Here we go then. Sparholt lagging just a bit further back than Ghost did. Warming up his tyres. Toxic's gone. Wow. Toxic went much earlier this time round, and Sparholt was weaving his tyres and wasn't ready for it. Toxic spun! No way! Toxic has spun in the penultimate corner on the restart. Overcooks it and has spun out of the lead. That is a disaster for Toxic. He's P14 and out of the points, and that puts Sparholt in the lead. And Ghosts has just been gifted an absolute miracle here, so he's going to have to try and pass Sparholt relatively quickly. See what he can do. What does Ghost do for the race lead? Sparholt defending. That's the second time I've seen that though on board with Ghost. He's not using his 8th gear down the straight for some bizarre reason. Always going to go for the move though. At the start of the 3rd sector, dives it down the inside, a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. Sparholt keeps the place. And Dylan made it past Kieran. Is he going to go move on Patrick? He's not quite close enough here, so... Oh, Ghost though.
Yeah,
Ghost around the outside. Oh, brilliant move from Ghost. Round the outside of Sparholt through the long right-hander, and he's through into the lead. Toxic now up behind McCrew though. Here goes Daniel on Kieran, he's through. And McCrew's going to try and make the move stick on Kieran as well. And he does. Oh, he's on the curb, he outbrakes himself though. He's going to run wide. Kieran's back through. And Toxic's through as well. Or is he? Toxic around the outside. Gives McCrew just enough space on the inside. But yeah, a little... Oh, McCrew's round!
McCrew.
He's out the race! What a disaster for McCrew. The wheels are really literally fallen off his wagon in this race. A terrible qualifying. Making up for it in the race, and a mistake has put him in the wall. Our championship leader out of the US Grand Prix, and Callum, with that mistake, now into the points. This is prime opportunity for Callum, as we've got a virtual safety car. There's such a shame as Callum picks up a time penalty. Gonna try and keep those pretty lows down the inside into the last corner. Patrick offline. Oh, contact! No, Callum's in the wall! Patrick spins around. He's got to make sure that he doesn't cause another incident. I think he's okay, but he's got front wing damage. Does Callum pick up front wing damage for that as well? I think he has. Big front wing damage. Yeah. A disaster for Callum. Oh, wow, yeah, that's massive front wing damage. He's going to have to pit. Yeah. That's going to drop him out of the points. Disaster for Callum. He went for an optimistic move in the last corner. He's tied from the session.
He's given up.
So is Patrick as well. Patrick's also retired. Here goes Toxic though. Down the inside of Dylan for P3. And there's not really any contest there. Dylan can't really do anything about it. So Dylan defends it though, right to the inside of the track. So Sparholt's going to have to go for the outside. Does he go for a switchback move? Yeah, Dylan's braked far too late for the hairpin and he's completely gone straight on. So Sparholt should make that move stick, and he does.
It kind of did for Dylan, to be honest.
I mean, actually, just thinking about it, yeah. If he's able to keep the tyres in check towards the end of the race, it has kind of worked out, because he is still on for a P6 and he was plumb last at the end of lap 1 after a spin. So, oh, as I say that, on board with Dylan. Dylan's got a puncture.
Oh,
front left puncture.
That's it, but
that surely hypes through now at this point. That's such a shame on the last lap for Dylan to get a puncture. It almost paid off for him, but wasn't quite able to take it to the end. Luckily it's not a rear puncture. Yeah, on board with Ghost then, round the final corner, and Ghost is going to win the US Grand Prix by a good, comfortable margin. Brilliant result from Ghosts. And he throws himself into championship contention for the last 3 rounds. Matty crosses the line in P2. My drive of the day, though, for Matty, from P16 on the grid up to P2. Brilliant result from him. Toxic recovers to P3 after that spin behind the safety car. Sparholt's going to cross the line. He nicks the podium by 0.6 of a second off Toxic. So 23 laps on old hard tyres, and Sparholt remains on the podium. Hypes up to 6th. Dylan crosses the line. He drops to 8th.
J. Luke gets 6th.
Yeah, J. Luke takes 6th from Hypes. Danny up to 8th. Dylan down to 9th. And MK takes the final points. But Nils jumps into P8 though. 11th across the line, and he's taken P8. So 20 through the top 10 then. So here are the points finishes for everyone. So Ghost wins the race ahead of Matty. Sparholt in 3rd without a penalty. Good stuff from Sparholt. Toxic takes P4 after a spin behind the safety car from the lead. Daniel takes P5 in the end ahead of J. Luke, who jumps up to 6th ahead of Hypes. Great recovery from Hypes up to P7. Niels takes 8th with no penalties as well, so good stuff from him. Ahead of Toothy Danny in 9th, and Dylan rounds out the top 10. Wow, what a crazy race. So who do you think your driver of the day is, though, Ivor?
I've got to give it to Matty. 16th up to 2nd.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd have to say the same. Matty, a really, really, really good result. Well driven race, nice and clean. And yeah, comes home with P2, so great stuff for Matty.
However, I think Callum is going to look back at this race and think massive opportunity missed.